Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Bangalore branch, I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you for today's one-day seminar for young members, Tarunya Educate, Empower and Excel. Today's seminar is organized by Young Members Empowerment Committee of ICAI to visualize the future needs of the young members entering into the profession and to gear up the professions for dynamic environment and to explore and develop new avenues of practice or employment or entrepreneurship for young members. This Young Members Empowerment Committee is formed by ICAI. To inaugurate today's seminar, we have with us CA Raghu, past President ICAI, CA Mukesh Singh Kushwah, Chairman Young Members Committee, ICAI, and Madhukar Hiregange, Central Council Member. And I request Chairman Kampana to kindly escort them on to the dais. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I request Chairman to welcome our guest with floral bouquet. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Chairman. I now request Chairman to kindly address the gathering.
Very pleasant, happy morning to each one of you. Today's chief guest of this special program for young members, CA Raghu, past President, CA Mukesh Singh, Chairman, Young Member Empowerment Committee, ICAI, CA and Madhukar Hiregange, Central Council Member, invitees, my colleagues in the AMC, and eminent speakers of the seminar, and my dear professional friends. We got a very overwhelming response for this program, and this special program has been organized for the young members who want to really set up the practice, whether to go for industries, what are all the opportunities available for the industries practice. We have also overview of this program. We have kept an overview of the GST program by Madhukar and Hiregange. He highlights the overview of the GSTs and opportunities available for youngsters to take up this new area GST. And we have office management and practice development strategy for young CS. And wherever in the industry or in practice, we want effective communications. So effective communication and time management at the workplace, we have a session on that. It is dealt by DS Vivek, Mr. Sampath, corporate trainer. And we have a panel discussion regarding practice versus industries, where our senior, past Central Council Member Nityanand will moderate the session. You have a lot of questions whether we need to, after the qualification, whether we need to go for industries or we need to choose for a practice. Today, there is so much of confusion between the youngsters after passing the CA, what next, whether to go for industry or practice. And so many times we see members who after qualification they join for industries. Again, after 6 months or 1 year, they will decide to join for practice. These are all your questions or confusions will be answered by this panel discussion. And also, we are not only our traditional areas, there are many avenues which are for youngsters on technology. For that, we have arranged a session, new avenues for practice in the field of forensic and information technology by CA Anand Hiregange. You can make utilize of this. Again, on behalf of Bangalore branch and all of us present here, I extend a very warm welcome for today's speakers, CA Raghu, past President of ICAI, and Mukesh Singh, and Madhukar Hiregange once again. At this point of time, I take this opportunity to thank Mukesh Singh, Chairman, Young Member Empowerment Committee, and team members for having supported and guided us for this conduct a unique program for the benefit of members, especially for the young and dynamic members of our profession. Let me wholeheartedly welcome our colleague speaker, Madhukar Hiregange, Central Council Member, and others, and my dear professional friends, delegates for this seminar. Friends, we play a significant role in nation building. It is inevitable on our part of our trust with the frequent amendments and changes taking place in the area of our services to maintain the quality of our profession. Hence, we are all here for this special program. The prime objectives of this seminar is to share the experience and expertise on the current issues and the best practices impacting our profession. This seminar will enable the young members in setting up the goals and learning about the new horizons and overall professional development. I am sure that this collaboration during the seminar with the stalwarts, the expert resource persons at the seminar will immense value to the delegates attending the program. On behalf of Bangalore branch, once again I welcome you all for this unique seminar, Tarunya, Educate, Empower and Excel, enabling you to materialize your dreams. Let us shoot and start and reach the moon. Affect us will never fail. Let us have an in-depth feeling of belongingness to our alma mater, ICAI, and grow along with ICAI and always march towards excellence, safeguarding the interest of our prestigious profession, and all the best for future endeavors. And I always request the young members who are always qualified and be attached with the institute and renew your membership. After once they join for employment, they forget to renew the membership only, and because they think that it is not necessary. That's not correct. Once you have become a member of ICAI, you have to remember and always be with ICAI. That's what I want to say. And coming to upcoming programs, as you all aware that budget is on the first. So we have a union budget analysis program on public awareness program on second, jointly organized with Christ University this time, where we are expecting 2,500 members, students and public for this program. And same way, we are every year as annual feature after the budget, we are organizing class by class discussion on direct taxes and indirect taxes. This has been organized on 10th and 11th of February. And please, new members and the senior members can make use of this program and also pass on the message to all your friends and colleagues. Thank you.
To inaugurate today's seminar and to address all of us, we have Chief Guest CA Raghu, Past President ICAI, and Guest of Honor CA Mukesh Singh Kushwah, Chairman, Young Members Empowerment Committee ICAI. To briefly introduce our Chief Guest CA Raghu, his fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India with more than 24 years of professional standing, honorary member of Certified Public Accountants of Australia, senior partner of K. Raghu & Co., a leading firm of chartered accountants in Bangalore, specialized in taxation, audit, business, investment and technology consulting services. He was elected as President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, by 22nd Central Council on 12th February 2014 for the year 2014-15. He was elected as Vice President of ICAI by Central Council on 12th February 2013 for the year 2013-14, and member of Central Council ICAI from 2007 for 3 consecutive terms. With this brief introduction, I welcome you for today's seminar, sir. To briefly introduce our guest of honor, CA Mukesh Singh Kushwah, Chairman, Young Members Empowerment Committee ICAI. Presently, he is Council Member of 23rd Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Currently, Chairman, Internal Audit Standards Board, Young Members Empowerment Committee and Career Counseling Committee. He is also a member of various committees of Institute for the year 2016, like Accounting Standard Board, Board of Studies, Committee for Capacity Building of Members in Practice, CPE Committee, Direct Tax Committee, Committee on Financial Markets and Investor Protection, Committee on Management Accounting, Committee for Professional Accountants in Business and Industry, Professional Development Committee, Women Member Empowerment Committee, Infrastructure Development Committee, Management Committee, National Economic Affairs Committee. With this brief introduction, I welcome you for today's seminar, sir. I now request dignitaries on dais to kindly inaugurate the session by lighting of the lamp.
Asmin loka
We also have our Central Council member Madhukar and Hiregange with us. He's currently Senior Partner Hiregange and Associates, having offices in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Mumbai and Hiregange. Starting in Pune in November 2016, and he is associated with CAs across India as mentor. Jointly authored 16 books on Central Excise, Service Tax, Karnataka VAT and Excise, Service Tax Audit, IDT IBC Study Material, Central Sales Tax and Goods and Service Tax, a primer second edition by end October 2016. Earlier contributions include 2 online books on Service Tax and Central Excise. With this brief introduction, I welcome you once again, sir, and I request you to kindly address the gathering.
A very good morning, ladies, gentlemen, members on the dais, my friend Raghu and Mukesh. Thanks, Divya, for that short introduction. I'll be coming to you again and speaking on GST. But one thing is for sure, that these are going to be challenging times. Technology is almost taking over much of the work which is presently available. Most of the things which we are today providing services to the client will no longer be available in future. That's almost sure. You look at the type of work which used to be done 10 years back in income tax. What is the work available now? Totally different. You look at the way the law in indirect tax is developing. It will happen such that at the stage of invoicing, software will be there. After that, software will generate your return. The reconciliation of the software is done by the government. Things which are not reconciling automatically debited to your account. You don't follow the law, no going before the officer, no assessment, automatically the software will take care of it. So whatever you are seeing in income tax is going to happen there. And therefore, all of us require to be sure that we have a paradigm shift. No longer we are the protected species. Bank audits are coming down. And even the type of bank audit you are going to do is going to change. Whatever little is left is going to change. So therefore, there is a lot of movement away from the attest function. Even in the tax functions, there are going to be a lot of changes. In these challenging times, it's very important to understand how to run our practice, how to be ready for our employment. It's not just enough that I passed my CA. We have this large amounts of CPE programs. Instead of CPE, you should look at it as CPD. There is no longer education. Education over. Once you passed your CA, it's over. So it has to be, you should develop yourself. Along with knowledge, you have to get skills also. So new skill sets are required. And I hope that today's small workshop should help all of us to do better. I will come back and speak on GST a little later. All the best for the program, all the best for your learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madhukar, for addressing the gathering. I now request CA Mukesh Singh Kushwah, Chairman YMEC, to kindly address all of us.
Honorable former President of ICAI, C.A. Raghu, my guru, guide and philosopher. I work under him and learn a lot. Because of his vision or thought process, a devotion for the technology, I use that system and given the new origin to this profession by conducting commerce result test, by using the technology first time in India through the mobile as concerned. It is because of you, sir. My council colleague who is authority on the indirect tax, He has also given the new thought process to the council. Yes, how we can improve the system of working for the choosing of the faculties as concerned, resource person as concerned. He has given the new idea, new concept that help to council also and upliftment of the education system in the profession. He started interviewing by the expert of the subject, of the various persons who have the interest to give their derivation on the subject. They want to groom the society. They want to inculcate, spread their knowledge to the society. He has given that concept, 2 or 3 judges, they make the judge. People will come, give their presentation in the line of their depth of knowledge in the subject, communication skill, delivery, orator skill, in all respect. Meticulously, they design some parameter, they started choosing, and it is a idea or thought process for the other committees, the faculty for the GMCS, orientation, IT is concerned, and definitely it will help in the future to great level to the professor. Because not only giving the opportunity, if the person has the capability, competency, they also groomed by this type of process is concerned, because they also feel yes, there is a eyes on the various person. They started feedback concept, strong feedback. Feedback concept is always there, but they started a strong feedback concept. Definitely it will help to the professor. Chairman of the Bangalore branch, he is continuously pursuing Mukesh. Why you come, please hold one program and so finally he also gets success in this, holding this good seminar for the young members concerned under this committee, and our presenter, Amos Master of Ceremony, is there. Very good morning to all of you friends. It's an immense pleasure and pride to have interaction with you. And this year my president has given opportunity to head 3 important committees. One is Career Counseling Committee. Under that committee, we have did a new innovation by the holding, completing the Commerce Wizard test by using the technology, and on 1st February we are going to organize the reward function to the best performer. And see what is the intention behind this, because there are in country more than 40 lakh students leave their education before 12th standard concerned, and we have a thought process. We want to restructure entire education system of the country from 6 to 12. Somewhere our subject commerce is neglected. We want to put somewhere hardly 50 to 80 page, 100 page study material should be introduced from 6 onward. It may be in their own language, it may be on the kind of language the student of class 6 can understand what is the commerce, what is the business, so that those students leave their education before 12th standard, whatever the reason. There may be various reasons. They don't have the interest in the education, they don't have the environment and opportunity to further education, their family background may not permit to further education. There may be thousands of reasons, but we are not going behind that. But present education are enough to give that focus or vision for their survival in the future, for their livelihood as concerned. But answer, because we are the student of commerce, we know yes, answer is no. This present education system is not enough to give that thought process. Out of this 40 lakh example, we can say 50% may get some small job. Taxi driver, some small grocery shop, some working as a sales boy, all these repair shops as concerned, tea vending, all this is small work. But what's rest 20 lakh they do in the future? They involve in somewhere the anti-social activity, anti-national activity. If we increase opportunity for them, definitely the level of number of persons those involved in the anti-social, anti-national activity may reduce. It will great help to the nation. Then we can say yes, we are the part of the nation building. We have to do, we have to conduct, our behavior should be like that. Society will, government will accept yes, institute is doing good job. So this is our vision in this committee. Especially in the ISB, we recently revised the concurrent manual. Continuously we are working. Our committee is preparing a important publication. We have identified 50 business transactions, and for these 50 business transactions, we are preparing 10-liner, a small checklist for those transactions, and each line must not have 25 words, 20 to 25 words, because it should not be a big book. If it is a small book, definitely our student will also understand and try to implement that. Definitely, by adopting this practice, 10 to 20% improvement in the documentation is concerned. This habit develop in the student, definitely they help, because they are the future of the profession. If we are able to inculcate this habit to the future of this profession, definitely it will be a great support to profession. And while they are working in the present, definitely risk of our member also decline. Our present member also definitely adopt this working culture. With this intention, we are preparing this document, and especially young member is concerned. See, what's happened, it is not restricted to young member is concerned. My vision is how I can, because young member age limit is as per the council I defined, there is no limit we can say, but somewhere we have to make some yardstick. How we define yes, these are the young. The young means they need some initial support from the institute, some initial efforts to be done for supporting them to establish themselves in the profession. This type of workshop is one of the way, but it is not sufficient. What we have to think, yes, because many of the members belonging to the second generation, and it is my personal experience also, member who serve this profession 10 years, 20 years, after that they think, I have done good in the profession, now I have to do something else. But at that time they will be reached around the age of 45 to 50, and it is a very risky, they cannot take the risk because their children may groom and they will be career concerned, marriage also concerned. They cannot take the risk to switch over from profession to another new areas as concerned. Some may develop this thing, and definitely they do in the different manner, the different areas also very well. But initial stage where the person, their financial things are supporting, environment support them, they want to become entrepreneur. They are diverting themselves, but this committee is also making effort for them. Yes, how you can develop as an entrepreneur and how can you crack the civil service example. I would like to share one example with you. 1 year back I hold a webcast, how to crack civil service examination. When we announced this webcast, many of the students come to us if we become the part of this live webcast. So we permit 20 to 25 student members. Yes, you can join where we are holding this webcast, and you can also directly interact, raise the question with who is the person giving this deliberation of the webcast as concerned. Because the person from the Indian Foreign Services, you can directly interact with them, get their ideas how you can, their guidance can help you in your object as concerned. Around 7,500 members come on that webcast, they have logged in. And we feel yes, this is a good number. Society has the different interests also. And after they immediately in the next exam, out of this 20% those directly come to the institute, qualify for the IRS as concerned. So, if we support the member in this way, definitely they will be the good asset, big asset for they will work for themselves, but whenever they will get this opportunity on the post, yes, they can definitely have a soft corner for our profession. Maybe the policy making as concerned, policy implementation as concerned. They will think about the profession, because at the time of when they are required some help, this institute help them. And for making or giving the different thought of the professional development as concerned, we have prepared a handbook on the rooftop business model for the rooftop solar paneling. If any of the client come to you with this vision, yes, my member should provide a specific different kind of consultancy to their client. If any other client come to you and say, sir, my business is on the good position, but after introducing further manpower as well as the financial efforts, still there is a saturation. We cannot increase in the term of profit, also turnover is concerned. Now my family is also growing. In my grandsons are also, they want to come in the business, but there is no use of there is no benefit to project business as concerned. What to do in this case? Then my member will be in that position. Yes, you come with your grandson and person, those you who want to involve this business, new business. I have a few business model. I will give presentation, and you choose any of the business. I will give all consultancy from scratch to establishment of that business. That type of thought process I would like to develop in my young member as concerned, and that will be a new idea in the profession. It might be consultancy, but for that purpose my members should be well equipped for that. Our scope of working is not restricted to the taxation matter, audit and accounting. Beyond this, we have to think, because every year new members are coming. After 6 months, 6,000 chartered accountant, new team is coming. But being a representative of this professor, being a council member, we have to think, yes, how we can develop new opportunity for them, new ideas for them. And believe your council is continuously thinking about that and working constantly. Whatever our predecessor left their footprint, we are following and improving the things in the better manner of this professor. Friends, past president is here, your council member Madhukar is also, I am here. If you have any thought process, if you have any ideas, share with us. We will try our best to implement and resolve those issues as concerned. And I once again congratulate to chairman for organizing this seminar and giving this opportunity to have an interaction with you. And thanks to all of you for patience hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mukesh sir, for sharing your experience. Your thought on what should be the right focus by young members was really inspiring. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to hear from our chief guest, CA Raghu, past president ICAI. Over to you, sir.
जोरदार तालियों से।
Good morning, friends. I think a special morning to all of you. We have a panel of eminent speakers addressing all of you on how you should grow your practice, how you should manage your office. I'm sure you'll have a very rewarding experience today. And I'm happy that Mukesh Singh Kushwah, the chairman of the Young Member Empowerment Committee, has taken this initiative to conduct this program in Bangalore. Thank you, Mukesh ji. And Mukesh ji is from the industrial city of Ghaziabad. If you have visited Ghaziabad is very close to Delhi, and he has come all the way to Bangalore, the IT city, to see that this program is conducted. A warm welcome to you, Mukesh ji, on behalf of all the members from Bangalore. And I had the opportunity of working with Mukesh in the examination committee for 2 years, and I was a vice president, a very dedicated, hard-working member of the council. Always keen to see that a lot of new initiatives are brought in, either in exam or young members, and he's done an excellent job, and I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Madhukar Hiregange has been a champion for promoting indirect taxes among the young chartered accountants, done a lot of work, have worked with him closely. One term we were together in the council, and what I like about Madhukar is that he's a no-nonsense, you can say, person, and he calls spade a spade. And when we're talking about indirect taxes, the kind of work what he has done in GST, I think the web TV, what has been the video webcasts that have been launched by his committee are really excellent. I have had the opportunity of listening to many of the video webcasts. All of them have come out very well. Congratulations, Madhukar, has been doing a great job to promote GST amongst the profession, because this is one big indirect taxes reform that will impact each one of us, and I think it is essential for us to get prepared for the new era. And Madhukar has done the right job in delivering education at the doorstep of the members and students. My compliments to you. Yes, Bangalore branch, Pampana, been doing an excellent job as the chairman. And when he invited me to come here, I really accepted the invitation. Divya and then Mr. B.T. Shetty, Shivram, but all of them are putting a lot of effort to see that new programs, innovative programs are conducted for the fast-changing profile of membership in Bangalore. Today, a city like Bangalore having more than 11,000 members, we have members in industry, members in practice, members working in the multinational accounting firm, then we have people coming from Mofussil pockets like Hosur, Tumkur. So it's a big challenge for them to conduct programs for different segments. But let me tell you, Bangalore branch is one of the most active branches and they're doing an excellent job. My compliments to the entire team. Friends, I would straight away get on to a very brief presentation. I've been given about 15-20 minutes. I'll try to cover it as quickly as possible so that I can just share my insights as to what each one of you present here should plan way forward. Today, the opportunities are increasing. When I qualified as a chartered accountant in 1990, opportunities were limited to the city where you're coming from or maybe any of the cities in India. We could either get into practice or industry. But today, what is happening is we are in a borderless world. Opportunities for chartered accountants are now available around the world. You go to a place like the Gulf region, whether Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Muscat, Oman, Kuwait, plenty of opportunities. Go to Australia, go to America. A whole lot of opportunities for our members. So today what is happening is the young members need not decide to be in Bangalore. If you are ready to take a career, an exciting career, a global career, you can pack your bags and get to any of the destinations. The institute has come out with global career e-kits for each jurisdiction. Gives you a lot of information about what is happening in each country. And what I would like to tell you is that today opportunities globally are increasing and chartered accountants from India are in great demand. Then another new trend is that all of you are aware, many of them are planning to get into practice. People who are qualifying straight away want to get into the industry. That is because attractive pay packages, challenging, we can say, careers, and they are very keen to start earning from day one, because in practice it would really take time for you to get settled. But if you take the earning curve of a professional, I've been in practice for 25 years. I should say that yes, practice is not at all discouraging. First 4-5 years, it's tough. You need to build in your clients, you need to set up your team, you need to have a lot of patience. But after 5 years, there's no question of looking back. You can still practice, very happily. Like Mr. Sachidanand, who's here, maybe practicing for the last 40 years. I'm very happy to see him here participating in this program. So practice as long as you are alive and kicking, you will have clients coming to you for advice. So absolutely great area for you to get into. Practice is also exciting. But the current trend is that more of the youngsters are getting into industry because of the fact that they start earning from day one. This is the profile of the membership today. Most of them are 1,19,643 are not in practice, and only 46,000 are in practice. Then coming to the profession, most sought after profession, extremely popular. And one of the reasons why our profession is popular is that the cost of doing this CA is very low. And that is why you have many live examples like students coming from simple backgrounds are passing the chartered accountancy examination. And with so many changes taking place, regulatory changes, opportunities for practice is increasing. We have GST coming, IFR is already there. Then so many new areas like forensic audit. So plenty of opportunities for you in the new era. And today, this is what Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister, had said in one of our institute platform. The Indian CA is recognized worldwide as being among the best and brightest in the profession. And Piyush Goyal said in one of the events, they are the bridge between the financial sector and the country, and they should be the torchbearers of the economy. This is what the top leaders of the country talk about the profession. Our profession is held in high esteem. We are considered very important. We are partnering with the government and very many initiatives, and I'm sure we have an exciting way forward. Coming to the opportunities for all of you, what is it you need to explore, how you need to get started. Basically, I would not touch upon the traditional areas of practice because most of you have already done your artificial training and you know what exactly are the opportunities there. Direct, indirect taxes, you have all the, I listed out all the nature of activities, audit and assurance, then internal audits, banking sector is one big area, there are a lot of professional opportunities are there. Most of you would have, experience, worked in chartered accountant firms carrying out these area of services, providing these area of services. I'm sure you already, when you have started your practice, you'll be focusing on these areas. But the new booming areas is what you need to look upon. Fine, you need to focus on traditional areas, but in addition to traditional areas, you need to look at new areas that is growing fast. One is international taxation. Today what is happening is the globalization of economies, cross-border transactions are increasing, a lot of multinational companies operating in India. In a city like Bangalore, is considered the global IT hub for the world. We have so many multinational companies working here. Yes, they require your services in transfer pricing, preparing transfer pricing reports, providing opportunity, providing advisory services, representing them in the income tax department, and advising them on cross-border transactions. This is one area where if you want to specialize, there is a certification course on international taxation, which you can, take up this course and develop expertise. And this is one area where you can really do very well. GST, I would not like to talk much about it because Madhukar is already talking about it. But yes, plenty of opportunities. And today there is a vacuum of indirect tax professionals across the country. If you take a city like Bangalore, maybe you can just count the number of chartered accountants who are specializing in indirect taxes. I think Madhukar would agree with me. Very limited number of professionals we have practicing indirect taxes. I think we need to fill in this void. And GST has come in, and there's absolutely no way we can escape from GST. Earlier, many chartered accountants used to say we don't practice in indirect taxes, we just focus on direct. But no longer you can afford to do that. You have to embrace indirect taxes. And in the new curriculum that is coming, a lot of impetus has been given for indirect taxes, both at IPCC and final. So you'll have a new generation of CAs coming out of the institute after 3 years, will be completely in touch with what is happening in the field of indirect taxes. So what is important is that each one of you should understand that yes, you need to understand the new legislation that is coming, and Madhukar will touch upon that. Companies Act, a lot of changes have been brought about in 2013, especially reporting on internal financial controls, a lot of opportunities. Last year, many of you would have been associated with many companies developing internal control manuals, and then we also have seen how companies have started outsourcing many of their requirements to young chartered accountants. So if you are keen on practicing in this area, this is one good area where you could practice. Forensic accounting, thanks to Satyam, post the fraud that took place, fraud detection, forensic accounting gained momentum in India. And this is something which you need to have specialized knowledge, because what really happens is that you have to detect the frauds, you have to build in systems to see that frauds are detected at the right stage. And today, cyber risks are on the rise. Thanks to the digital economy, we find that today most of the companies are embracing e-commerce for their trade and commerce. So that is when forensic accounting would become relevant. You need to, put in a lot of effort to see how best you can detect the frauds that are happening in a company. A company like, let us say, Snapdeal or Flipkart, volumes of, crores of transactions take place every 1 hour on the internet. There are many payment gateways and interface. So how exactly you as a chartered accountant can detect the frauds? How exactly you can build in the mechanism to see that such frauds are detected? This is something new area. Again, we have a certification course in forensic accounting, and when you go to England, that is UK, the Institute of Chartered in England and Wales have a very good course on forensic accounting. It's an online course. You could take up this course also. In addition to that, the Institute of Chartered of India is also having a post-qualification course on forensic accounting. It's a certification course. It's a very good course which happens in Bombay, and if we have a good number of members, I think even Bangalore can conduct this program. Coming to IFRS, again the global reporting standard, the entire world is migrating towards IFRS. We took a decision in the council that it is not possible for us to keep away from the developments taking place in the IFRS. We thought we should align with what is happening globally. More than 130 countries are following IFRS, and in India we have made a beginning. All the large size entities have already started adopting IFRS, and it's being rolled out in a phased manner. So these new standards, we call it as Ind AS in India, and these standards are in par with IFRS. I would sincerely recommend you to attend the certification course, which is extremely good. And today IFRS consulting, lot of opportunities within the country, outside the country. If you are IFRS proficient, you can get a job in any geography around the world. So this is something which you need to keep in mind, because today the users of statements are not limited to one country. You have investors in Singapore who can look into the financial statements of a company in Bangalore. So when the users of financial statements are from different countries and a lot of money is flowing into the country, I think IFRS is the only solution. The council has taken a conscious call that we have to align with what's happening globally. XBRL, Extensible Business Reporting Language, today we have a problem of plenty. So many financial statements are available, published financial results are available. You can't make comparisons, you have to put it in an Excel sheet. XBRL makes your task very simple. All the companies in India are now asked to file their financial results using XBRL. So using XBRL, at the press of a button, you can make comparison between the net profit of, let us say, top 20 software companies in the country, maybe top 20 steel companies in the country. So very quickly you can conduct, you can make analysis of financial statements using XBRL. This is something knowledge process outsourcing Bangalore has led. Many chartered accountants in Bangalore are into these areas: payroll processing, transaction accounting, managing accounting for global clients, market analysis, equity research. I've come across many chartered accountants who are active in the KPO space and extremely successful. And this would continue. Knowledge process outsourcing would continue. And if you're keen to, offer services to clients in the KPO space, yes, plenty of opportunities. Then in an open economy, we have a lot of investments coming to the country, investments going out of the country. You need to have knowledge of what the regulatory approvals is required by RBI, FIPB, then you have to have knowledge of FEMA. And absolutely essential for you to understand how a company can set up an operation in some other country, how you can structure the transactions. A whole lot of services can be offered by you, because a lot of investments are flowing to the country and a lot of investments are flowing outside the country. Then big data analytics. Today all of us are aware that big data is something which is very relevant to the profession. Every organization is having a problem of data, having a lot of data available. There needs to be a professional who can mine the data, find out which data is relevant to the organization, which data is not relevant to the organization. So today we find that chartered accountants have a great opportunity in data analytics. Globally, accountants who have the knowledge of big data analytics are doing extremely well. If you see the advertisements in the campus interviews, if you see the advertisements in the papers, they're looking at chartered accountants with the knowledge of data analytics. The pay package will be 2 to 3 times what a normal chartered accountant can get. Yes, you need to develop the skill sets, and this is one area where each one of you can play a very big role, because the future is analytics. Then coming to the way in which the world is moving, the entire accounting is now being stored on the cloud. Gone are the days where accounting is to be hosted on the servers of companies. You can sit from anywhere, whether at home, office, access your office computers, and cloud computing is gaining importance. It helps you to work seamlessly, and many large companies and mid-sized companies are embracing the cloud, and here you can play a very positive role in helping the companies to migrate to the cloud. If the accounting system has to migrate to the cloud, I think you can play a very positive role, and it is essential for you to understand how cloud computing works, what is a private cloud, what is a public cloud, what is the security issues involved. And yes, this is something which is of interest to all of you. Again, futuristic, extremely futuristic, artificial business intelligence gaining ground around the world. Today we find that chartered accountants can play a role in building tools in artificial business intelligence. What is happening today, a lot of jobs, if you see the paper, they say many professionals are now losing jobs. The reason is of automation, because of artificial intelligence. A whole lot of changes is taking place because of artificial business intelligence, and I think we need to keep in touch with what's happening. Friends, coming to the practice development, I think as Madhukar rightly said, continuing professional development is very critical. You need to participate in seminars, you need to network with professionals from other specializations, and such forums help you to build knowledge, understand what is happening in the profession. It helps you to look at new opportunities, and of course you can also take the lead and make technical presentations. It provides an opportunity for you to network with other friends in the profession. And what is very important is that today you need to have a good infrastructure. What is lacking, I've visited many chartered accountants offices around the country. What is lacking is many chartered accountants don't invest in a good office. They'll have a good house, they'll have a good car, but when it comes to an office, they'll have an outdated office. I think all of you should keep in mind that having a good office is very critical, very important, and any investment that is made in a good office would pay rich dividends. You need to have quality staff, you need to train them, ensure that the office runs in your absence, 24/7. Your team should be able to manage the clients. All these changes are taking place because you are working with global clients, you are working with young clients who want everything as early as possible. You know, those days when I remember when I was practicing in 1990, when my father was also a chartered accountant, you know, appointments were given. They used to take appointments and come to your office, they used to wait for the chartered accountant. But today things have changed. It's known as a chamber practice. Today things have changed. Everything happens electronically. Clients wants to speak to you on video conference. He wants to speak to you on Skype. He wants to finalize a financial statement sitting at his office. These are the changes that is taking place. You need to understand these changes and quickly align ourselves to the changing expectations of the clients. So what is very important that you need to be well educated, because this is something which with the information explosion take place, a client is able to get information quicker than you. So this is a change that is taking place. Every information is blasted to him on his WhatsApp or his Facebook or any of the news channels, give the information to him. So you need to be alert and aware of the developments that is taking place, changes that is taking place. So you need to be well educated, well prepared. And what is very important is that ensure that proper documentation is maintained. This is one area where each one of us practice chartered accountants ensure that proper working papers are maintained. And finally, ethical values. This is something very critical for your success. You might be extremely smart, extremely successful, but if you don't have ethical values, I don't think you will survive in the long run. If you need to build a good name for yourself, you need to have strong ethical values. Challenges are plenty. The infrastructure costs are increasing. Setting up an office is not very easy. Reaching out clients, many young members ask me, Mr. Raghu, how do you think we should get new clients? This is something which you need to do it yourself. Takes time to understand how you can identify clients. Number 3 is retaining the clients. Yes, you're able to get a good client, but what is important is retaining him year on year. That's very important. And then you need to have good communication skills. You might be invited to speak to the staff of your client. You might be invited to speak at various other forums. You need to be good at communication, good at presentation. And what is very important is managing the revenue. See, it's not important to generate your revenue. What is important is what exactly you take home. Many chartered accountants want to set up big infrastructure, spend a lot of money, but ultimately what is important is that you should have a smart take home. That is something we should constantly keep in mind. And a lot of networking that is happening informally. I think that each one of you should try to see how you can network with chartered accountants in Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, maybe London, maybe America. Networking is important for your success. Concluding, friends, I think the profession has a great future. I've been in practice from 1990, even to this day. I can say practice is fun, the profession is exciting, and the public at large and the regulators are demanding more transparency. This is something which you need to keep in mind. And the profession is looked upon with high esteem. We have to live up to the expectations of the regulators, whether it is SEBI, whether it is RBI, whether it is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And it is essential for us to adopt to the changes that is taking place around us. And finally, I can just say that it's a great opportunity for all of you to be in this profession. It's good that all of us have assembled here to learn a lot of new things that is happening in the profession. And I'm extremely thankful to Mukesh, Kushwah for having invited me today, for having requested me to address all of you. And I'm sure all the participants today would go back with a lot of information, a lot of solutions, a lot of tips as to how they could grow their practice. And I wish each one of you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raghu sir, for very informative presentation, for sharing your thoughts with all of us. Huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on behalf of Bangalore Branch Managing Committee members, I take this opportunity to propose formal vote of thanks for inaugural session. I express my great gratitude to our Chief Guest CA Raghu, Guest of Honor CA Mukesh Singh Kushwah, Central Council member Madhukar and Hiregange, who despite of the numerous very tight schedule has found time to grace this occasion. Big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. I request Chairman to kindly present a memento as a token of appreciation and gratitude to our Chief Guest and Guest of Honor. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Bangalore branch, I also thank Young Members Empowerment Committee for organizing today's seminar, which I am sure will help all the young members in meeting the expectations as far as technical and professional